What's going on, people? It's Mr. back again with the review. I can see Jake's face as he's seeing fuming. I've got in guests in Forest fans, Tom, and as well Scott from Madrid as well. I don't know where to start. Let me start with a Forest fan because Jake, you look really peed off. Let me start with Tom. Tom, what performance?
Yeah, it was a lot better tonight. Tempo was better, the shape was better, and everybody just stuck to the jobs accordingly. So yeah, it's a long overdue win, but I mean it's only one win, but we need to hopefully build on this now and pull away from the bottom of the bottom for the championship really. But having said that, I think Sheffield Wednesday didn't really offer much, to be honest, going forward.
That's an understatement.
Samba, I've been a bit of one of his biggest critics, but he had a night off tonight. He had nothing to do really, and Mbe was solid with Worrell at the back, and basically it was a really good team effort. But like I said, we've got to build on it now, starting on Saturday against Millwall.
Scott, what player stands out for you for this game?
Tonight, I thought Amiobi had a really good game. I know he can be hit and miss, but I just thought from the start he looked up for it tonight, and he worked hard off the ball as well, which was really good. So he made some good tackles, but he just made the difference, at times, and he did well for the I think for the link up for the second goal, for GRABBAN's goal. So he played well. I thought Samba had a really good game in midfield, and that's been long overdue because he's been picking up bookings after about 10, 20 minutes, and it's a bit like game over for him. So I thought he had a really good game. So that was a massive plus for me.
Jake, I don't know where to start.
We're getting relegated. We're screwed. We are screwed. We have to have a very, very good January period or we're done. That team showed no passion, no interest. I'm done with how that team plays at the minute. Something is not right with those players or that club at the minute. And if someone like Tony Pulis is known for defending, getting team defending well, can't get a team to defend, it's no point. And on a personal note, how do you score 2 goals? We only did it at the start of the season. We haven't been able to do it since. So what do you do? What's this strange thing where the ball goes in the back of the net and then you keep getting more? Because we don't seem to be able to do that. Spineless performance.
Just try and find the team yourself.
We know you're paying as Forest fans because we've had it really bad. So.
No, I said to Dore on the previous crap team versus crap team, and Wednesday were just the crappiest. The worst problem is I'm seeing my uncle tomorrow who's a Forest fan, so I'm going to hear all of this tomorrow. Seeing dinner.
Tom, players like Martin got his first start today. How do you think he felt?
Yeah, really, really good. He's just like fearless every time he picked up the ball, and Sheffield Wednesday didn't know what to do with him. He just like frightened the life out of them. And yeah, I just really good performance from the young lad. I know he's still raw, but yeah, pace at any level was a great asset, especially in a team like us who in recent weeks have been quite pedestrian when we've won the ball. But he's got the ball and got into like really good positions. And yeah, solid game from the young lad tonight. Really impressed with him.
Scott, would you start Martin against Millwall?
Yeah, I think so. It was just nice to see a bit of impetus and a bit of pace. He looked really hungry, didn't he? Because he's had to wait for his chance. So he looked like he was really up for it. But I think just in the tempo of the play, it just makes such a big difference when you got somebody who's quick. He can run at players. Joe Lolly looks like he could do with a bit of break, really. Yeah. Get, I think a bit of time out, get his confidence back up and go again. Because he just looks blown, doesn't he, Joe Lolly, at the minute?
Yeah, 100%.
So I think Martin, it's a good opportunity for him to come in. And yeah, I thought he had a good game. So, I'd start him again at Millwall.
Would you what about Knockout? Like players like Knockout, I think it was suspended for one game, wasn't it? Would you not bring him back in?
I'm kind of like a believer if somebody's played well, then they get to keep the shirt. So I think Alex Martin would be a bit gutted if he didn't get picked on Saturday. So you think, well, give him another go. We know what Knockout can do, but I think he just gives us another dimension with the pace, and I think that's been a problem with Knockhart and Lolly, they just haven't got that pace that they might have had kind of 3 or 4 seasons ago. So I think we just look a bit of a different outfit with an outlet with that pace. So I keep Martin. I keep him in.
Jake, with Sheffield Wednesday, like I said, I thought it was awful as well.
There's nothing there.
What does Sheffield Wednesday need in January? What players do they need?
I have no idea at the minute because we've got injuries in at centre back position again now, so that's going to be an issue. We need goal scorers at the top money in this moment with everything that's going on. Is anyone going to really realistically want to come to Wednesday unless it's somebody Tony Pulis knows? That's the problem. When you're in the foot of the relegation, no one really wants to come. The best bet is getting young League One players who think they might be able to cut it at the Championship, but then if they go down, they know League One. So if they're going back down, they're happy. The thing that you've got that new manager bounce now with a win, which is great for you guys, and your Jordan Rowe curse is now ended.
Yes.
Thing.
I got worried when he come on. I did get worried.
You had nothing to worry about. We can't give him service. The first half, I thought we were all right trying to get crosses in, but no one's there. The only couple of players who looked decent for us tonight were Barry Bannon and that per usual, Adam Reach, and that was about it. And we just I don't know what he can do to the squad. But this is the same 3 managers who hasn't been able to get something out of the squad. So it said to me that it's not the manager, it's the players.
Jay,
go.
Jay, what's actually gone wrong at Sheffield Wednesday? Because in 2016, I went to the playoff final against Hull, and you was unlucky to lose that. Yeah. But you just had, I know it's 4 years ago, but you had like a decent manager in Carvajal. Chanzeri was like chucking a bit of money at it. What's happened since? Because I really enjoyed that Sheffield Wednesday side. It was a good team. I thought he was actually going to go somewhere. I mean, you had, who did you have? Forestieri and players like that. And it's just like I know we've gone backwards in the last few months, but Sheffield Wednesday were like there in the top 6, and you're just falling like a stone. You've had Gary Monk in, that didn't work out. So what actually has gone wrong at Sheffield Wednesday?
Financial fair play, big one for us. Breaching the financial fair play hasn't helped. We've thrown money at it. We gambled it on 2 seasons. The first season, Chancery took over, and then the season after that to try and think. It didn't go right after the first season. Carlos Calha was looking at other jobs and he went to Swansea, didn't work out. But we stockpile players. We don't send players on, if you know what I mean. We get like good money for like Barry Bannon or Fernando Forestieri, and he keep them where he could have just reinvested that money into the team and then rebuilt again. We never rebuilt. At one point, we were just stockpiling players and stockpiling and not selling. We've not made a profit on anyone. Last year, Stephen Fletcher left on a free transfer. Morgan Fox left on a free transfer. We'd only made, I think it's 8 million in transfer fees since Chancery's been at the club. He's somebody that doesn't know how to run a football club. He's learning. I don't want to get rid of him. That's the thing. Fans are wanting him to go. People are calling for Pulis to go, and he's only been in the job for 3 weeks. At the moment, I'm glad fans are not allowed in the stadium because it's for us as a fan group, it could get even worse. Like last night, there was a banner placed outside Hillsborough saying Chancery out. And it's like, who's going to buy the club at this moment in time with everything that's going on in the world? And I don't think that's the case, but I think it's a case of just an owner that not really knowing football and needs help, but he's been advised run by other people. And those years where we had playoff final, playoff semi-final, and then after that, it gone downhill. We looked like we were starting to do something with Steve Bruce. Then he got the phone call to go to Newcastle. He left. We didn't have a good period between Carlos Carval and Steve Bruce. We had Josh Lukai. And we keep getting these managers now who are either nearly meant or they're meant to be the relegation scrappers and be able to save us. And if you've got someone like Tony Pulis who turned around and said, on all his years of management, he's never met a bunch of disjointed players in his entire career, there's a big problem. And I don't know how you save it.
Well, you're an angry person, Jake. Scott, Lewis GRABBAN's come back today. I don't know how long it took him to score. How does it feel to see Grabban score?
Yeah, it's good to see Lewis back and open. I think that's his first of the season. So with Lewis, that once he gets a goal, he tends to go off on a bit of a spree. So it was a worry at the start of the season when he was missing those chances. It wasn't like him at all. When you normally think, well, he might miss 2 or 3, but I think it was kind of getting 5, 6, 7 good chances that he was missing. So it was a bit of a worry. And then it was rumours about him wanting to go and maybe join Sabri in Qatar. So it was a bit of a worry that does he want to go? Does he want to leave? But he came on. His attitude looked spot on when he came on.
Yeah, it did. 100%.
And he linked the play up, and his movement was good. And then, I mean, his finish is just an outrageous, classy finish, isn't it? You know, that's good enough for the Premier League. That type of finish, no messing. Kind of the chance was there, and he just buried it. I thought the ref might have gave a foul because it looked like his studs were up.
That's what I thought.
I'm surprised the ref didn't give it, because you normally see kind of 9 times out of 10 that they wouldn't give it. But he didn't hang around, did he? He just smashed it to the bottom corner. It was just a bit weird, kind of. I don't know what the Sheffield Wednesday fullback was doing.
Oh, Moses had to buy
high-fived.
Yeah, he high-fived him as it went in.
He scored, and then I thought, I watched it the first time, and I thought, was the Sheffield Wednesday player having a go at GRABBAN because he had his studs up? But then it looked a bit jovial, and I just thought that was a bit odd.
Wow.
He was smiling at him. I don't get it. I don't get why that happens. It's like, you don't want that. You want to be angry that that's happened. If that's a player's reaction to an opposition player scoring, it's like, we're rude.
Tom, would you start grabbing on against Millwall, or would you stick with the same side?
Well, Taylor went off with an injury, so it's. I think with his know-how up front, I think GRABBAN will start. I mean, you might get an hour out of him because he's obviously coming back, but Taylor's out. Guerrero's not. He hasn't scored yet, has he? So. And last year when we went to Millwall, Rafa Mir played, didn't he? Didn't do anything for about an hour, and Guerrero.
Yeah.
So.
Don't mention that.
I mean, I think GRABBAN will start earlier than Chris Hughton wanted, but it's just the situation at the moment. If Taylor's not 100% fit on Saturday, I'm just looking at the fullback for Sheffield Wednesday. I'm just saying if his paths have crossed with GRABBAN in the past. And I don't. The only team I can think he's played at with GRABBAN is Brentford.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But like I said, that was 2014. Then he went to Hull. Then he went back to Brentford. So whether his paths crossed there.
Scott, was you impressed with what's his name? So the centre back.
And So I thought he looked good, and I thought he was a bit unlucky that he's not had much of a chance. I thought when I saw him at Huddersfield, I thought he had a good game. He seems to have a bit more composure than Figueiredo. He's another one who's just really looks like he's just lost all his confidence, a bit like Joe Lolly has. Just don't look the same player. So I think it was a bit of a relief, and that sounds a bit hard on Figueiredo, but it was a bit of a relief that he was kind of taken out. And I thought Mbeso played well. I think he was a bit shaky to start with, and he's probably going to take a few games to get used to English.
100%. 100%.
Some of them strikers bought a few cheap free kicks off him, but I think his distribution's better than Figueiredo, and he just looks a lot calmer. So
I was just about
to say that run and see how he goes.
I was just about to say that he looked comfortable on the ball. He bringing the ball out from defence, and Figueiredo's always looked awkward, hasn't he, with the ball at his feet, and Mbeso looked the complete opposite. So and I think it calmed the whole back four down. Because no disrespect to Figueiredo, I mean he has had his critics in recent weeks, but everybody seemed calmer around him because if the players haven't got confidence in Figueiredo, then he's not going to have the confidence. And I think you're just waiting for a mistake to happen, unfortunately. But with him out the side, I think that back four looked a lot calmer. But having said that, we wasn't really troubled tonight by Wednesday's forward line.
Question: do you think you can now kick on from this? Will they give you the confidence to now go on?
Go on, Scott. You answer this.
I thought the biggest change for Forest tonight was they looked more confident, and they looked more confident from like the first minute, which
I think the first goal,
early goal settled them
goal.
down, but they just look a different team, because we've been shocking the last few weeks. And listen to you, kind of, you know, your woes about Wednesday at the minute, but it's been that bad for Forest as well. It's been shocking. It's been really, really bad. So I don't know where that confidence came from. I know there was rumblings that they'd had an hour in the dressing room after Norwich, and, you know, players had it out. And then Joe Worrell had said something suggesting that they weren't friends, and that there wasn't there behind the scenes. But they started with the huddle tonight, which was, I always like to see the huddle, because that was a big thing last year. So it was good to see that. And then I think everybody kind of really worked hard for each other tonight. I couldn't fault anybody's effort. You know, on the way some of the players were giving in on Saturday, it was a bit embarrassing, and it was a bit like, are we in massive trouble here if players are giving up like that on some of the goals? But I thought tonight they worked really hard together, and it was just nice to see a bit of team spirit back tonight more than anything.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that, because every time, you know, when the fullback was up against somebody, then they were doubling up and everything, and they were digging out each other. And it's a start in the right direction tonight, a bit of togetherness, which we haven't seen in the last few months.
Jake, are you still got confidence in your manager?
I've still got confidence in him, because he's only been there 3 weeks. It's a lot for him to do in 3 weeks to try and turn it around. It's like he's not even had a chance to properly. I think you're going to see a lot of Wednesday players get kicked out in January. And
we can have Barry Bannon. Barry Bannon could come to Forest if he wants.
Well, he's out of contract at the end of the season.
We'll take him.
We put a new 2-year deal to him, and he said he'll sign it if the club matches his ambition. So that pretty much said to me, probably going.
Sorry, Tom.
Jake, do you actually think that there'd be a massive overhaul in January? Because January is a really hard month for any team, really. If you're at the top of the league or bottom of the league, do you think a real overhaul is going to happen at Wednesday next month?
He said in press conference that he's going to have a mini little overhaul. He said players need to go. There's too many players that I don't think who are up to attack or not caring. But the problem you've got there is, who's going to come to this?
But on the others, who's, you know, the players who were regulars in the past, is Forestieri still at the club and plays like that?
Left in the summer.
Where's he gone?
Yeah, he went to Udinese on a free transfer. We had a load of players in the summer that were out of contract who didn't get contracts. So Morgan Fox, Stephen Fletcher, Ati Newhugh, Sam Hutchinson, Fernando Forestieri. That's 6 off the top of my head.
Wow,
crikey, that's a lot of experience there as well,
exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
experience.
And who's still to go from Wednesday? Who?
You still got Kieran Westwood, haven't you? Still got Kieran Westwood.
Still got Kieran Westwood, but he played 1 game when coming back, and he got injured.
He's a fantastic keeper.
He's a great. For no reason, managers have not had a problem with him, and no one really understands what it was. The problem we're lacking someone with experience. We need a proper ball-winning midfielder who's not a Barry Bannon who flicks it over around, who can just sit in the middle, strong-arm someone, get the ball back. Because the amount of time we gave you the ball today, and then we were just playing catch-up. And tonight's formation looked like 4-1-4-1 at one point. But we tried to go forward, but there's nothing there. Jock Windass is not a forward that can hold it up. He's just not that kind of forward. And we need goal scorers. They cost money. I think you're going to see a lot of the deals that get done are either going to be 6 months loan till the end of the season to see if they can dig us out. And Tony Pulis using his contact to the best of his ability. But he said that there's a lot of things that are problematic at the minute at the club, and he doesn't know what it is. And this is 3 managers now that have pinpointed this, and it got to be down to the players of some sort. But I don't know where or how he's going to do this mini clear out that he wants to do and then convince the player to come in, if you know what I mean. He said that's what he said he's going to do. We'll see what happens in January.
Scott, as you know, there's been things been happening behind the scenes at Forest with before this Forest lost 6 and 7. This win today, has that put less pressure on Houghton?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you can't keep losing games, that's for certain. But he's too good a manager in this division. I know I've got every confidence that he'll get it right. I just think that there's still a bit of a hangover from last season. They've obviously started it really badly. Lots of new players have come in, so I think there's just been a lot of change. And I think with that hangover, it's kind of not the stuffing out of the season already in terms of, I think, promotion. I think that's off the table. But you think with his track record that, if he can start to instill a way of playing and a way of winning, and maybe if Alex Myton and one or two others can break through, to the first team, then let's see if we can finish the season fairly well. I think we're really talking about next season for promotion, but that's got to take the pressure off. But they've got to keep picking up results, because if they go to Millwall and they get thrashed, and we're back to kind of square one again. So they've got that game and they've got Birmingham coming up. So they've kind of two games that you think they've got to get something from. So they've just got to look after themselves. But I suppose the confident thing is that against Coventry and against Wickham, they played fairly well. So I'm hoping that we can build on beating Wednesday tonight and take that into Millwall and Birmingham and pick up some points, just to kind of make sure that relegation's not is not looming.
Tom, like I said, after a fantastic win today, everyone kept saying like teams like Sheffield Wednesday or Derby are not going to go down. After today's win, do you think we're still in that relegation fight?
I think the closer we're down there, I think we're going to be in it until we actually get some wins and a bit of consistency and get a run together and start pulling away towards mid-table. So a lot of people have been saying that our Forest in a relegation fight from like the last couple of weeks. I think they've been in the relegation fight for the last month, really, because obviously we've not been scoring goals, we've been conceding too many. So until we start moving up the table and getting away and creating a bit of a cushion between us and the bottom teams, then I still think we're in this relegation battle. But tonight's a start. We've got to build on that. Like Scott said, there's no point winning tonight, then going to Millwall on Saturday and getting panned, and then you're back to square one again. We've got to build on this now. The squad on paper's good enough, but we've got to stick together now and hopefully get a bit of consistency going and try and move up the table.
Jay, what's next for Sheffield Wednesday?
We got Coventry, Blackburn, and Middlesbrough.
Bloody hell, that's a tough. Wow. Do you think you'll get anything out of the next game?
I'm just getting drunk now. And just
Christmas started early.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just gonna get drunk. If the video goes up and I look half cut, that's because I probably am.
Before we do go, Scott, I know you do a blog. Is it Madrid and Munich? Just talk about that, please.
Oh, the Munich and Madrid blog. Yeah. So, last season I did every game last season. So I just kind of did like a bit of a match report on the back of that and got some away fans' perspective on things. So I've not been able to do it as much this season, unfortunately, but I've still been chipping in with a few articles, and I did one on Saturday, just really talking about, I think, the change in attitude that's needed at Forest at the minute, because we've got a good manager and we've got good players, and I think it's just an attitude thing that needs to change. And I know that the owners had a bit of stick in the chief executive, but I just think. Do
you think he deserves a stick? Do you think that's this for you? This for you as well, Tom. Like, I'm gonna start with you, Scott. Do you think he deserves it?
Well, when they stuck with Sabri Lamouchi, I was like, that's the right thing to do. That's the honourable thing to do. We finished 7th. We stuck by him, and then we didn't invest in anybody in January, and they got absolutely hammered for not signing anybody. Then we've gone and signed some good players. I think we've signed too many, but we've actually, on paper, you're looking at Arta, that Mbaye So's come with a good reputation from Paris Saint-Germain, Cyrus Christie, who else? Lyle Taylor,
Friedman.
So, Harry Arta, so if I've not said Harry, but you're just thinking, actually, we've signed some good players here. So I'm thinking I'm happy with that. And I know it's not worked out. And I think that's probably because it's been too much too soon and a massive hangover. So I'm not really want to start jumping up and down about that, to be honest. I think the club has just got to stick together, and it's just been a really, really bad patch. But I don't see the point on turning. They've appointed Chris Hughton. What a brilliant appointment.
Exactly.
So it's kind of, it looks just really good on paper. I think it's just the culture of the club has probably just got to change a little bit, and maybe lessons might get learned that actually this was too much too soon. But as I say, yeah, I thought they've made the right decisions on paper. It's just not quite worked out.
Tom, I just mentioned lights behind the club. What's your opinion on what's happening behind the scenes of the club?
I think the club have made mistakes, but I mean, I think because we're not going down there and things have happened, things haven't happened, and I think basically social media's basically gone into overdrive. Regarding opinions. Like I said, the club had the meetings with Forza last week, and it was come out. They have made mistakes, but I think at the end of the day, I think it's a hard one because we're not running a football club here, and I think, yeah, like I said, they've made mistakes and they've tried to rectify the mistakes, but it's just a matter of sticking together now. And I think a lot of people are easy to point the finger at certain individuals, but it's a matter of like, okay, if you've made mistakes, learn from them and move on from there. Because the worst thing is if you're not learning from your mistakes and then the situation gets toxic and this, that, and the other. But Forest have got to move on now, and like I said, not try to make the same mistake twice.
So last but not least, lads, like I said, Scott, what's like on stage 4, stage win? Where do you think Forest will finish? Where do you think?
What, the season?
Yeah,
I would settle for, I don't know. I mean, if they finished more than mid-table, it's obviously it'd be a disappointment. It feels like it's a bit of a wasted season, really. But it now feels like it's a season of transition. And they've got some good players, and I think they've got to find a new identity under Chris Hughton, which I don't think we've really seen yet. I think tonight's probably a step forward in the right direction, that we can win matches and that we can play well at times. Some of the passages of play were good. It's just not consistent, across the 90 minutes. But I think if we can finish, I'd like us to think that we've had an amazing run of games and we're not on the door to the playoffs. But
it could happen. It could happen, though. You don't know, Ed. It could happen.
But it's a confidence thing, and I think if the team get the confidence up, I don't think the quality is. I don't think you can doubt the quality in the squad. It's there, but it's just about the attitude and the confidence. If they get the tails up, then who knows? But it would be nice for us to go on a bit of a run and win some games, because it's just been miserable since about, I don't know, May. Since football restarted. It's an absolute shocking period. So I know it's bad for Wednesday fans at the minute, but we've had it just as bad, and
we've had it as bad.
We've had it out of it.
Well, this is the thing. When I saw this picture and then I saw how our performances were each time, I thought it's either good. Like I said, it was either going to be a 0-0 or one team was going to step up and win it. And for old Tony Field to come out in the press conference at the end of the game saying we're in it together, we've got to do this. He's doing the usual kind of making people think, and he's got to do that as a manager. And if he can get the players he wants or get them starting to find that form, we will get out of it. There's still lots of points for us to pick up. But the further adrift we get now, it's going to make it 10 times difficult. And I want to be positive. I want to say we'll get out of it. But when you're looking at it right now, I just don't see it at the minute. When you see your games like this back to back, the fact that he hasn't got his first win yet he must be, I was going to say tearing his hair out, but I don't think he's got hair anymore. But he must be like going, what do I need to do to get these players going, kind of thing. And I do believe he'll get it. And I think we'll have a very, very interesting end of season if we don't go down. We're either going to go down rock bottom and we're not out of it, or we're just going to beat it.
Tom, where do you think Forest will finish?
I don't think it'll be top 6.
Come on, have confidence.
No. I'm a realist. No, I think.
I've heard that too much. Don't believe realist.
It's like if we can get through this season with minimal damage, I'd be happy with 12th at the moment on how we've been playing in the last 2 months. So yeah, just I mean, we're not as our a full capacity, we're not going to get to the stadium this year, are we? This season. So yeah, if we can get through it and finish around about 12th, I'd be happy.
Mm.
So.
Right. So, right. Sorry. Do you want to carry on, Tom?
No, I'm done.
Oh, sorry. Okay. But yes. Well, you know what? Last but not least, Tom and Scott. How does it feel like we won a game? How does it feel like everyone? At least we can go on social media and everyone's going to be happy. No depressed moments.
Oh, it's absolutely shocking. Like the depression after the game, it's just horrible. And just the WhatsApp and Twitter, it's just, oh my God, we're just picking the bones out of performances, and it's just so miserable. And when we beat Blackburn in one of his first games, it was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What an amazing feeling. So I think it's a bit of a relief. I'm not going to get carried away to think the season's going to, end up in the playoffs. I don't want to get carried away, but it just feel like a bit of a relief that we probably felt like the Wednesday fan is feeling now. We felt like that for the last few weeks, and it's not a nice feeling. You can't see a way out. So it was a relief tonight that we got that early goal and we played with a bit of confidence. So it gives you a bit of hope for Saturday that they can carry on with that.
Jake, I know I don't want to just cheese you off more, but you look cheesed off, but
to be fair, I'm not cheesed off. I don't know how to react to this anymore. I'm just like, I don't know what to say from that performance because they just didn't turn up. I said at the end of the Huddersfield game that we should have just done a poke card to Barnsley and said, here's your 3 points, don't turn up, you can have a day off. And we should have done it tonight. You could have all stayed at home and not bothered and got 3 points like forfeit.
Unbelievable.
Something will happen soon, I hope. But at the moment, like you said, when you're in this position, you don't have that hope. And if you do get a win, it's the hope that will kill you afterwards. So it's going to be interesting.
Right. Before we do go, I will put Jake's YouTube channel at the bottom. Scott, I will put your blog as well, so people can watch you read as well your blogs. And Tom, I know you don't do YouTube, so I can't put no description underneath there.
Any fan mail, just send him a Twitter.
I will put Tom's Twitter page as well. I'll put Madrid as well on Deep. So, but people, if you did enjoy this review, please do hit the subscribe button, like as well. But like I said, Tom, Scott, and Punk Jeff, thank you very much for coming on this channel. And I can go off this channel and be happy because Forest won. But like I said, thank you very much, and I'll speak to everyone soon. Up the Forest, everyone.
Jake, good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, mate. You too.
All the best, mate.
Cheers, boys. I'll see you soon.
See ya. Bye.